Well, hello there, and welcome to my new home here in Canggu, Bali. It's been 6 months that I've been in Bali, and it's taken me up until now to find a place that really feels like home. I knew that was going to happen. It's taken me 6 months to find a place that I can call home that really feels good, and I'm so excited to share this new place with you. So let's come in and check it out. So my new home is located in a little street off of bathtub, which is kind of the heart of Canggu, and I'm just so happy that I found this place. I moved in about a week ago, and I'm going to give you a tour. I'm going to show you around and then tell you all about what the housing situation in Canggu is like. And let me just preface that it's pretty bad. It's quite dire. So the fact that I found something that really suits basically every single criteria that I had is pretty amazing. Anyway, so let me show you around. So there's an actual house. I'm renting it's not a room and it's not the whole house. It's like the downstairs of the house that is quite private. And this is eventually going to be a guest house that will have the 3 rooms up here available for rent. But right now there's nobody except me that's living here because they just finished doing some renovation. So anyway, I have a whole private entrance. Let me show you all this stuff. So we go in, you saw I have my motorbike here, and then I have my own entrance, which is just down these steps, and we're right by the side of a little river. I mean, how amazing is that? It's actually the same as when I lived in Ubud. I was also right by a river and a jungle, but unlike Ubud, it doesn't have the sound of a million screeching locusts or whatever those bugs were that just made this incredibly horrible high-pitched noise that made it really hard to make videos and really hard to just enjoy being at home. Here, this is definitely the most quiet place that I've ever lived at in Bali. There are no roosters, or if there's one, I can hear it very faintly so far in the back. Because I'm at the end of a little road, there's not motorbike noise. And it's basically just really quiet. There's also not dogs barking and stuff like that. So really, really lovely. Anyway, so as I said, here is just this little river and then beautiful rice fields, and I'll show you the view of that from upstairs. It's quite magnificent. So here's my private door, private entrance. Come inside. And here we have my private garden area. So this is already really nice because this space just all belongs to me, and I'm having my coffee here in the mornings and looking out at these fish and this beautiful view of just greenery and lush loveliness right here. As you can see, I have a lot of privacy in this space, which is really rare because unless generally you're renting your own villa, you're not going to have this kind of space. So here I have my own seating area in front of this fish pond. I have also around this side another daybed area, and this is just all nature, beautiful over here. So really lovely. And then there's also steps that lead to the upstairs where there's the kitchen and the other rooms, which I'm gonna maybe block off. So anyway, I have a lot of outdoor space, and then right through here. So in here we have my living space. Let's go in. Alright, so inside you can see actually I have a lot more space than I used to have at the other guest house where I was living before, called Sahati. I don't know if you've watched that video, but you can see, I think I did a video about maybe digital nomad cost of living, and I gave a very short tour of the guest house where I was staying for 2 months. So anyway, this place has so much more space. For the first time in months of being in Bali, have a place to actually put my clothing, because when I was staying in this little guest house, they just had one tiny little wardrobe with one teeny little rack, and my clothes were just kind of a mess. And now finally I can actually see the stuff that I have. I have basically a full-length mirror, which I really appreciate because I didn't have that in the other little guest house. I have a desk with a comfortable seating area. Again, didn't have that in the other guest house. I also have this extra storage unit thing over here, which I put some stuff on and inside. The bed itself is quite comfortable. It's a full-size, I think a full-size or queen-size bed. Has its nice mosquito netting above, has a fan, but also has air conditioning, very important. And then I'll tell you, the bathroom itself, okay, the decor in the bathroom is pretty atrocious. However, look at this, it has a bathtub. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I am obsessed with taking baths. I love taking baths, it's my favorite indulgence. Now, since I've moved to a nomadic lifestyle, it's quite hit or miss. In Mexico for a year and a half, didn't have a bathtub. Then in Thailand, I had a very beautiful jacuzzi-like bathtub. And then since I've been in Bali, I did have a bathtub and a boot, so can't complain there. But since I left Ubud, no bathtub, and it's very rare and very hard to find a place that has a bathtub in Canggu. So the fact that this place had a bathtub was a huge, huge selling point. It probably is what sealed the deal for me, quite frankly. Now, I do have one little issue with this place, which is that the water heater is very small. The water heater only has 15 liters of hot water, and that fills maybe about 4 inches of this bathtub before the hot water runs out, and then it takes forever to refill. So because I like this place so much, I decided, you know what, I'm going to invest and buy my own water heater that I'm going to replace that one with. And I just ordered one from Tokopedia, which is like the Amazon of Indonesia, and it was just over $100, and it'll be quite cheap to install, so fingers crossed that one is going to be great. It's supposed to provide automatic continuous hot water. So anyway, it just goes to show there are always ways to fix things, you know, if it's not 100% perfect, which is rare to find here in Bali. You always kind of have some sort of compromise. Which, also speaking of, in terms of compromise, the bathroom itself here has a very bizarre layout. I think it was made for like a pygmy from Papua New Guinea, because the sink, you can't tell for scale, but the sink is really made for someone probably 3 feet tall. I mean, I'm not a tall person, I'm 5'6", 5'6" if I'm not lying. But let me see if I can show you the scale of how small this is. Like, I have to really bend down to use the sink properly. So the sink is something that if I could, and if I just stay here for a while, I would maybe look into replacing, but I don't know how long I'm actually gonna stay in this place. But for now anyway, like, everything is quite good. I'm quite happy in my little nest here of Bali. That's pretty much it for the bedroom and inside. The other thing that is really special about this place and very rare is that they allow dogs. So because I've decided now that I'm going to be making Bali my home for the foreseeable future, I'm very inclined to adopt a dog, because for me, like, life is 10 million times better when you have a dog. And also, just in terms of security, I would feel safer about having a dog. I think that if I had a dog in Mexico, maybe I wouldn't have been robbed, you know, because the dog would have barked when those people came into my house and stole everything. Anyway, so that's another subject. I'm going to show you around the upstairs, and then I'm going to tell you all about the whole rental scene in Canggu. Okay, so let me show you around upstairs where the kitchen is and the other guest rooms, which are currently unoccupied. I have my own little private walkway here, and I bumped my head quite badly on this yesterday, so I'm going to try not to do that again today. I just have to, again, I'm like short. This house is made for someone who is a midget. Okay, so, oops, are you still there with me? All right, here we are. We are upstairs now. Okay, so coming upstairs, the house has its own little temple shrine area, really lovely. The view, okay, the view here is just unbelievable. Sometimes I have my coffee up here, again, because nobody is here right now. I have the whole entire house to myself. So the view, okay, look at this view. All right, so here we are upstairs. I'm gonna lead you through. There's a guest room here, guest room here, guest room here. None of them are as nice as my place. They are all just like little rooms basically. So kitchen, I mean, nothing special. Anyone who knows my channel knows that I don't cook or clean or do laundry for that matter. But anyway, I did buy from Tokopedia, I'm obsessed with online shopping, is a French press coffee maker, because now I can enjoy my coffee here in my own home first thing in the morning. What I've been doing every single day in Bali is going out for breakfast and having my coffee there, but I love just kind of dawdling about my home for the first hour, drinking my coffee, relaxed, listening to the nature, looking at this beautiful view, and it just makes me so happy to finally feel like I found a home. And that really, let me sit down and talk to you guys. Alright, so I mentioned that the Canggu housing situation is not great at all. Basically, I've been living in Canggu since June, and I have moved around, how many times? Okay, I moved around, this is the third place that I have moved. But I was living in a guest house for 2 months, and this guest house was totally adequate. It was cheap, it was like $300 a month. But I really didn't feel at home there because it's a guest house and I had hardly any space. Like, the bed took up the whole room, and I couldn't properly unpack my clothing as well because I just had one tiny little wardrobe. So it was really driving me crazy. And I went into this mode of like, okay, I need to find a real home for myself, especially if I want to stay in Bali for longer. And I knew I wanted to stay in Canggu. I didn't want to go back to Ubud. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I wanted to be here in Canggu. Now, what I started to find as I scoured the rental groups, mostly Canggu community housing, and that's the best resource to find anything, is that anything that's not a guest house, which is already rare, is basically a villa. Now, for a villa, the rentals are almost exclusively by the year, and that means that you need to pay the whole year's rent up front. It's not like America where you sign a year lease and you pay bi-monthly. No, you sign a year lease and you pay everything up front. So these villas are usually around, starting from anywhere to $800 to $1,000 is like a starting point for a pretty basic villa. And that means that you're needing to put out $10,000, $12,000 just boom right there. And I don't have that liquidity at this moment. So now finding something that's not a villa and not a guest house is exceedingly challenging. And in my search, I finally had come across a place. I responded in like 5 minutes on Facebook. It was a teeny little house in Barawa that had its own private garden, and I went there and it was a beautiful place. Only one problem. It was right next to the mosque in Barawa. And the thing with the mosque here, and I think with mosques in general, is that they blast that call to prayer super loud, and it's like 5-6 times a day, and it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning. And this house was so good though that I was willing to overlook the really annoying sound from the mosque. And this house was going to cost 8.5 million rupiah per month, electricity not included. So I put down a 2 million rupiah deposit, and I was going to move in there October 1st. But nonetheless, you know, I was kind of still like just seeing what else is there in the market. I'm part of this Facebook group, so every now and again things would pop up. And I saw that some girl had posted looking for a place for me and my 2 dogs, budget 6 to 8 million. And somebody responded underneath there like, I have a place, and she linked to it on Airbnb, and out of curiosity I looked and I was like, oh my god, this place has a bathtub and it's private and it allows dogs and it's quiet and like everything. So I responded to this lady who commented, and I was like, hey, I just saw your comment, is this place still available? Can I come today to look at it? Because this is how you have to act in Bali. Like, if you want something, you need to be on it right now because someone else will take it from you just so fast. So anyway, I went to come see this place, and basically in 5 minutes I committed to it and I moved in the next day. Because that's, again, how you need to do things in Bali. So long story short, I lost my 2 million rupiah deposit on the other house in Barawa, but frankly I'm still coming out ahead. That they just started playing the call to prayer. You can even hear it from here because we're not that far from it. Anyway, so frankly, it was worth it to lose that 2 million rupiah per month because this place costs 6 million a month, electricity included. So not only am I saving just 2.5 million a month off the top, but I'm also not paying electricity. Oh my god, you can even hear the mosque from here. Okay, like, wow, I have so much that I could say about it that's so politically incorrect, but this is not that kind of channel, so I'm not going to say that stuff. But the fact of the matter is that I would not have been able to keep my sanity if I was living in that close proximity to the mosque, because here we're like a good, at least like a kilometer away, and you hear it really aggressively. Less so downstairs because I'm more protected by the walls, and if I'm inside I don't hear it at all. But wow, it is so annoying, and thank God that you can finish that train of thought. Anyway, so the housing situation in Canggu is very competitive. Unless you've got the cash to just plop down for a whole year on a villa rental. It's really hard to find something that is in between a villa and a guest house, and I'm really glad, as I said, that I found this place. This is like perfect for me because it's private, it's so quiet, minus being upstairs with the mosque, but it's great. I'm really glad. So my advice to you is that if you want to live in Canggu, you need to give yourself probably at least a month of looking, and if you find something that you think is like fits 90% of your criteria, you just got to go for it. You've just got to jump and go for it, because it's otherwise someone else is going to take it 5 minutes later. Anyway, that's it for this video. My hair is a complete disaster right now because it's super windy, and I feel like you're not even going to be able to hear the rest of what I'm saying because we've got the mosque now in the background. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more digital nomad videos, and share with me your stories. Are you coming to Canggu? Are you living in Canggu now? Do you want to go to Canggu? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.